A great sports betting pick. Carissa Thompson's Thursday Night Football picks and Amazon Prime host. She has 3 prop bets that should hit tonight. Chris Olave to score a touchdown. I think that's happening. Derek Carr, 275 passing yards. If they want to win the game, he's going to have 275 plus passing yards. Kamara could run the ball well, but over that sounds about right. Travis Etienne Jr. to score a touchdown. 9,000 people bet on this, and the odds are plus 1,100. Honestly, I do like this, and I think it will probably hit. You guys should bet on this and just do a parlay on it. College football. I don't know if all you have been paying attention to the college football season this year, but there's been some great games this year. And let's go through the top Heisman candidates. So let's look at this. Number 5 is J.J. McCarthy. I honestly do agree with this. Michigan has kind of had a somewhat easy schedule so far, but upcoming they have some big games. I think they play Penn State. Ohio State's coming up, which is probably the biggest college football game of the year usually. I think this will really solidify if he could win the Heisman, but I agree with that. Number 4, you have Caleb Williams. Even though USC has struggled defensively, I still think that Caleb Williams is one of the best. In the Notre Dame game, he did struggle, which a lot of people in the comment section were saying, oh, he's not going to be drafted number 1 anymore. There's literally nothing he could probably do to not be drafted number 1. That's how good he is. In my opinion, he's going number 1 still. Number 3, you have Dillon Gabriel, which honestly for Oklahoma, he had one big win against Texas Longhorns, which was a great win in my opinion, but I think I have to put Bo Nix at number 3. He's had impressive stats, has had bigger games, and just played better throughout. Number 2, you have Jane Daniels. I haven't seen too many LSU games, same with Michigan, but based on some of the stats I've seen, he's played pretty well. Number 1 is Michael Penix Jr. I think a lot of people would agree he's the number 1 right now, and he just played pretty impressive. That's one thing. Throughout, he's been consistent. He had that big win against Oregon last week, and just honestly a good win for him. But let's go now to the college football rankings. So this is the new college football rankings of ESPN's for ranking all unbeaten teams. So number 1, they have Michigan. Their running game and passing game has been very good. Their defense is good. Number 2, you have Ohio State. Their quarterback has struggled. Kyle McCord, I don't know if he's as good as people think. Marvin Harrison Jr. has definitely done a lot of heavy lifting this season and been carrying the whole team, really. I think that Ohio State could be on fraud watch soon just because they play Michigan soon, and that's going to be a good game to prove how good is Ohio State. Number 3, Washington. I agree with that. They've been very consistent, and with a move to the Big Ten next year, I think they're just going to keep going up and up. Michael Penix Jr. is the Heisman, and I think they have a good chance of making the playoff as well. They're number 5 right now, which in a good win against Oregon last week got them there. Number 4, Georgia. They lost Brock Bowers, which I think they're going to struggle this week just because of that, but they've kind of underperformed against certain games. That Vanderbilt game wasn't as good as people thought it was and things like that, so they've kind of struggled. Number 5, you have Penn State. They have a big game this week against Ohio State, which I'm looking forward to watching that game on 9 a.m. Pacific time, college football on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that game and wanting to wake up to watch it. It's going to be a great game to watch. And here's the rest of the team. Bill Connolly ranked this list, so number 6 is Oklahoma. I agree with that. Number 7 is Florida State. A lot of people don't like Florida State being outside when they're actually in the college football playoff as of right now. In my opinion, I think it's still a good list just because Florida State struggled in overtime against Clemson. They should have beaten by a lot more. They've struggled throughout the year. So then you have 8 North Carolina. I feel like they've kind of struggled somewhat, but they look very good. Drake May is throwing the ball very, very well. So 8 sounds about right. I don't think they should be top 5 or anything like that. That's ridiculous. Number 9, James Madison. Hopefully they don't make the playoff because I wouldn't want to see like James Madison versus like some other team like Washington or something like that, because Washington would win that one and I just wouldn't want to see it. Number 9, you have Air Force, which is pretty interesting on this list, honestly. I'm kind of surprised they're on this list. I haven't seen too much about Air Force or really paid attention to them. I don't know how good they are. Number 10, James Madison, like I said. Hopefully they're not on the playoff. I wouldn't want to see a blowout. Number 11, Liberty. You had a lot of people making fun of, in general, saying North Carolina Air Force and James Madison and Liberty are going to be the college football playoff this year, which I would honestly be very shocked, but I think they're just making fun of it. This was honestly a great list, and comment down below if you agree or disagree.